Hello, good evening. Thomas Orths, Will Not Change TV. I just used the opportunity, now that the room is empty, to address you for this week's video log. I just completed a dinner speech, but actually it was a keynote speech before dinner with a large group. Well, what do you call large? 70 leaders. And those 70 leaders represent more than 19,000 people of their business, which is in total more than 70,000 strong. I work with this organization since 10 years, and I was asked to turn up on this special workshop and just be the bridge between a heavy workshop day and the evening dinner. And just use this 30-40 minutes to give some meaningful insights, stimulation, energy, and thought-provoking metaphors. So that was the brief. It went very well. I'm pleased with the outcome, and I just wanted to use this video log to give you a little bit of insights of what I typically do, or what we can do as Will Not Change to bring some sparkle into your convention. So the first question was that I asked, how well do you know the team, scaled from 1 to 10? People said 1, 2, 5. So I challenged them to introduce themselves to people that they never met before with a handshake, and then there were various ways how they had to greet themselves and introduce themselves, and that provoked laughter, humor because of the brief, and all of a sudden it was a real energizing experience. After that, I challenged them to group up in pairs of 4 that have never worked before with each other, and then in small groups of 4 they had to solve a task only in 2 or 3 minutes. They had 1 minute to strategize and then solve the task. And then afterwards, of course, we asked how did it go. You could see already through the experience, some people struggled, some people bent the rules, some people broke the rules. In hindsight, looking back, asking them, no one actually made it. The few people that made it, they were bending the rules or breaking the rules. And then I asked the question, what could you have done? And then sometimes the obvious doesn't really come to you in that moment, and it didn't to that group. If you just would have paired up with a group next to you, half a meter, 1 meter away, you could have solved the challenge, working in 2 teams in collaboration, but no one did. Everyone was struggling in their own spot. And that's my metaphor for the real business. People are focusing on their departments, on their business, on their area of the business, and they want to optimize that area, and everyone else, go away, don't interfere, leave me alone, we have to optimize. And that's the trouble. You've got maybe a business of 50 or 100,000 people strong, and all the different departments are optimized. That doesn't mean that the company as a whole is more efficient or more effective. Sometimes far from it. It's even more dysfunctional because of silo thinking and acting. So that was a bit of an eye-opener, and people cheered and laughed and got the message. And then there was one other part that I like, and that has to do with the slide in the background. If you look at it, a typical change initiative is normally driven top-down. Board members, senior management, middle management, they work on strategy, structure, processes, optimize everything, and then it's communicated, and the basis has to implement. That's the traditional way. And that's the reason why 70, if not 80% of change initiatives fail, because they are lacking the buy-in from the basis, from the bottom. So on the other side here, we've got top-down, bottom-up approach. Slightly different, but big difference in outcome, in results. We've got still the board and the senior management looking at strategy, structure, and processes. You've got the middle management, who is the communication channel, but you've got the basis who feeds into the middle management with their ideas, with their collective intelligence. And you as middle management in a sandwich position have to be able to tap into those resources. And then it's a communication stream, top down, bottom up, so that people come up with a collaborative approach. They all contributed, they are connected with the outcome, and they are committed to implement, because it was their joint idea. And that was the message also to this leadership team. At the moment, it's the leadership team looking at the status quo, where we need to be, how do we get from here to there. And my challenge to them was, how can you make sure that the people out there that you represent have a feeling in this change, they contributed, they are connected, they are committed. So it is about getting the buy-in from the people, not because you tell them what to do, but you ask them what they think, and it's a collaborative approach. So we had some additional team activities where that was highlighted, and that was also another task, another challenge they had to fulfill in order to come up with a collaborative approach. Then the last question we asked them before we sent them to dinner, the question was, okay, this big change initiative at hand, if you think about it, it's good for the company, for the stakeholders, for the customer, yes, 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 But why? Ask yourself individually, why is it important to me? What is in it for me? You heard this phrase before, I used it many times. What is in it for me? If you can self-centered answer that question, come up with a good answer, magical can happen, because you support a change out of personal motives. And a lot of people can't answer that question. So we had them individually think, why is it important for me? What is in it for me? Why it is important for me? The second question, the why, backs up the what. What is in it for me? Why is it important? And then we had some walking around in the room, sharing your findings and taking this discussion off to dinner. And that was the bridge we made between a full day workshop and an evening experience. And that's my invitation to you. You line up workshops, you fly in leaders, key people. What do you do with them? Is it just discussion? Is it something stimulating? Why not have the mix? We would love to come up with a personalized, tailor-made concept for your next event. Speak to us, engage, and let us come up with some suggestions. You can only win. I hope you had some insights from this video log. I hope we see you soon again. Have a good night. Bye-bye.